I'm Tim Lerch, and this is Ted Greene's comping lesson on All of Me for the November newsletter at tedgreene.com. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, I kind of made it through that. This is a comping page written by Ted in 1984 on the same day as the other lesson, 10-7-84. It says comping on the high strings for All of Me, key of C. Make sure you get the page. The link is down below. And so I'll go through it and talk about it. This is relatively straightforward. The comping pages are always very informative and helpful. Maybe some of the most practical and useful stuff that is offered at tedgreene.com are on these comping pages. I've found them very useful. This also, the changes that he's using on this page go very, very nicely with the trio style or ensemble style arrangement that I just did a video on, and it's probably sitting right below this one or, on my YouTube channel. So take a look at both of them. Some of the material in one is applicable to the other, so that's very good. All right, here we go. We have 2 bars of C, and we have a kind of rhythm where he's playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So he repeats that rhythmic phrasing quite frequently through the piece, not exclusively, and just when you get used to it, it doesn't happen. Anyway, I'll go through it. C6-9 on the top 4. Let me turn so you can really see it. Now, some people might want to play it like this. I know that Ted played it this way. Use your best sense of what's possible for you. So we hold that. 2, 3, 4, 1. Then a series of C6 or C6-9 chords. There's that one. Okay. And then that voicing again for beats 3 and 4. So the whole phrase is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a couple of small things. Of course, the page says comping on the high strings, and that's what it is. But when you see a situation like this, you might want to say, well, is that voicing available higher up in a way that I can also learn something from? And it turns out that it is. You could play it like this. And then it's right there for the next one. And I'm sure that if Ted weren't writing it exclusively for the top strings, that he would consider at least choosing that voicing, because it just makes so much sense physically. But learn what's on the page, and then if you're wondering if there's ever a big jump, especially one of 4 or 5 frets up or down, you might find the same exact voicing in a closer area to where you already are, especially 5 frets down. That would put you right where you're on the same fret you started from, like this situation. Okay, the next two bars are a bar of E7 and a bar of A7, but Ted always adds things in to make the good movement. So we have this, and then we have a B minor 7 chord, which is the companion of the basic bar harmony E9. And then he goes up a half step. Well, actually not up a half step. He basically stays on a B, but he makes it B7 flat 9 sharp 5, which turns out to be 5 of E. And you just get an approach from above type sound, and then the E7. So that passage would be 2, 3, 4, 1. Missed that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, it's amazing how easily it is to screw these things up. And then we go to the 6th dominant chord for a bar. And then a companion of 6th dominant could be thought of as E minor 7 flat 5. So then he does a series of E minor 7 flat 5 to A7. E minor 7 flat 5, an inversion of it, and then A7 sharp 5, and then a beautiful little A7 flat 9 that's abbreviated. And he's left his top 4 strings rule here because he wanted that melody note. And the other thing about this bar is that it's all on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this wonderful D minor major 7, 11. Right? If you want to hear that with the bass note, sounds like that. And then he just goes down to a D minor chord. Now, I've never favored this particular voicing, and just to let you know, it's also right there, the exact same voicing. So you could say, okay, either way. Then it says bass and drum fill. I used to just go Okay, then we get to B minor 7 flat 5, which is again a sub or an enhancement of E7. And we have this interesting voicing. It looks also like G9, right? But it's B minor 7 flat 5. They're inversions of each other. And then there's E7 sharp 5. And then this voicing. He says you could also use D, which would be like this. But I like this sharp, the flat 5. And then a fascinating little section. Oops, sorry. This is the beginning of line 3. So there's some timing there. If there's no slash marks under the chords, I just figure they're 2 beats each. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to leave this stuff ringing up on top, that would be a nice and elegant solution. Continuing on, A minor 9, E flat 9, D9, 2, 3. Now, you can just hold it and then repeat those 2 notes. You don't have to see them as 2 separate things unless you want to get that D on the melody, which is an optional note. That passage would be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then continuing on. I find that piece to be particularly elegant. Here's G11, also known as D minor 7. Then it's flat 5 sub A flat 9, which is approaching G11 by half step, and then continuing the chromatic voice movement to G7 flat 9. Then we continue. We're on the 3rd chord of line 4 right now with C major 6/9 or C major 9. There's a number of ways you could finger that. It's basically like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a beautiful movement. So if you look closely, you'll notice you're doing C add 9 here, moving it up 2 frets, adding a finger, and it becomes C 6/9. And then reach, not too bad. And then continuing on to E7. I like to use that optional note up on top because it gives very nice voice leading to this next move. And those chords come kind of fast and furious. A7, A6, A7 with a 6, or just A6. Yeah, he calls it A7-6, but because of the previous bar gave your ear that flavor, but it's really just A6. And then B minor 9, E flat 9, which is a flat 5 sub and its companion of A7. Now here's a part that I find very difficult. I didn't play it correctly in the opening passage. Because of the X, you get... Okay, so let me see if I can get that whole passage there from the A7. Or maybe finger it this way. And then a D minor 6. Okay, and then this is the turnaround. 2, 3, 4. 3, and then the 1/8 note anticipation, and then I love this part. Be careful to play that one this way because then you can play the next chord with the same fingers. All right. Let me play the whole thing from, let's see, I'll find a spot that get the feeling for that last bit. We'll go from here. This is the C add 9 chord in line 4, the 3rd chord in line 4 to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the end. There's some alternate chords there. See Paul's page. Of course, as usual, Paul Vachon wrote a compilation page here. And I suggest you look at it very closely, especially if you don't know the tune. And again, remember, learn the tune, learn the simple, all of me. Why not take all of me? So you really know the tune. Can't you see I'm no good without you? Then back to 3 dominant. Take my arms, I'll never use them. I think it goes to A minor there. Then it goes to D7. Okay. Learn it. Listen to, whoever sing it. Listen to singers sing it. Listen to see if you can find Louis Armstrong playing it. That's always a good place to start. Okay, then once you get the fingers under your fingers, the grips under your fingers, certainly play around with phrasing, because this is comping style, and my guess is that Ted didn't intend it to be really straight on the beat like that. But so once you get it, you can start playing around with these melodies. Let me see if I can play around with it a little bit like I might do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a little bit messed up there in the middle because I was going for something that I heard. Of course, I'm going to plead the fifth on that because, you know, when we learn these things, they should be stepping off points. And it takes a little courage to do that because after all, the great Ted Greene wrote this thing, and we want to be respectful of that and learn as much of it, as much from it as we can. But ultimately, when you pick up your guitar and put it in your lap, it's your thing. And so even if you screw it up, then you at least ran the risk of playing something fresh or new or your own or whatever. Okay. So now I have a little surprise. I revealed this surprise on the previous video, but I'm going to give this thing a shot on my newly acquired Regina. I'm back with Regina. This is one of Ted's guitars that I recently was given as a wonderful gift from William Perry. I promise I'll play it, and hopefully I'll play a lot of Ted things on it. One of the things I noticed that when Ted entered his guild phase, which in the last 10 or so years of his life, he was also really thinking about Wes Montgomery a lot and playing with his thumb. I noticed there were a lot of things where he would, you know, play. Not something I do much. Anyway, this is Regina. I'm going to maybe lower this mic down just a little bit so we can hear some of the acoustic quality of the guitar, which is very nice. I'm going to try and play this All of Me comping arrangement on Regina with my thumb in a kind of Wes Montgomery style. Of course, I don't think Wes ever really played this many chords in his comping, but it's okay. We'll just get the sound if I can get it anyway. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Just a little fun thing at the end there. Okay, so go to tedgreene.com, make a donation over there, enjoy all the material, join the forums, keep the thing lively. There's a lot of people who are doing a kind of labor of love to keep it going so that Ted's material gets out to the public. And you are the public, so go check it out. And please don't be intimidated by all the little dots and boxes. It's very accessible if you just learn how to decipher it. And there's plenty of material on there that will help you do that as well. Okay, Tim Lerch saying goodbye.